Tonight, we are running the high line here at the Millbridge Speedway, and another very special part of it is we have pit stops. Teams must change a right rear here at the Millbridge Speedway tonight. It is the R2 Designs night here. We are here at the Millbridge Speedway tonight to get all the racing action done on the top. Let's go down to a driver who is injured and is our ARCA points leader. Well, a devastating accident happened at a Flat Car Friday event for John Kinder. You got beat up pretty bad. I saw the video online of you flipping down the front stretch. What happened?
Just part of racing, you know. I mean, everybody fighting for positions, and guy got turned around when he came back across. I went over and got hit by another cart, and just everybody fighting for real estate.
So how bad did it get you? I see you got a sling on. We know you had a couple of ribs, had some issues. So what happened?
Yeah, I broke my collarbone and 6 ribs, and so I'm a little banged up. It's going to be a while before I get back in the cart, but I mean, it's racing, it's what happens.
So points, you've got a sub driver which you're allowed to use this race. Tony Barkman's going to wheel this thing. So Tony, come here for a minute. You're going to wheel this thing for Kinder as a sub driver tonight, correct?
Yep.
So you have a bunch of starts in DNQ series. ARCA series, low talent, a lot of peasants. You should have a good run here tonight.
That's the goal. I sure hope so. I'll give her a whirl and give her my best shot.
So do you feel like Jamie McMurray when he replaced Sterling Marlin back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
We better sack up and win this bitch.
It's going to make me look bad.
So Kinder, you got the fair coming up really close, like a couple weeks after this race. You would have to start that race in order to get the points. Are you going to do that?
Probably not. We'll see how I am, but it's not looking real good for that. But, I mean, we just wanted to make sure we came out and supported this series. Rims One has come on to sponsor us this year, so we want to make sure the Rims One colors were out there and just have some fun with it. We're gonna keep us as high in the points as we can with our one sub driver that we can use. So Tony's gonna go out there, rip this thing, get us a W tonight, and see where we end up in the points.
Well, Points Rider Premium, Kinder's going to be out for the rest of the season. We'll see how Barkman can do in this ARCA ride. Well, good luck to Tony Barkman filling in for John Kinder, who has had a really good season so far, JZ.
Yeah, Kinder's been dominating, and his injury, as unfortunate as it is to him in his Rims One ride, opens it wide up to the rest of the field. Anyone can step up to the top side. I'm interested to see how this shakes out without Kinder there to put a whooping on everybody.
Well, he's got one relief driver, then he's got Brad Jeffords and Chris Page up his ass in points. So he's going to get points for tonight, however Barkman finishes, but after that, he's kind of on his own.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, he's so much better than everybody else right now. He can miss a week or two and come back and still probably win this championship.
We'll see how it plays out, but let's go down to our race sponsor, who's with Eddie. Well, down here in the tech shed, Ryan Richmond checking his weight pre-race. Ryan, tonight is your race, the R2 Designs race. You guys came on board to sponsor this race. We got pit stops tonight. We're running the high line. Is it in the cards for you to win here?
I mean, it's a good night as any. I've run really good at the top here. Pit stop, my pit crew always does a phenomenal job. Gain spots every time. I really worked hard. I hope I got my shit together. I worked hard this past week getting this thing ready, and we're going to try. We're going to run both races, Bud Heavy and Cup, and see how it goes.
What does it take differently to run the high line here than when you're here traditionally running the bottom?
You just got to man up, put it by the fence, really. I tightened it up just a little bit because there's a lot less room for forgiveness when you're up by the wall, and, you know, can't give away all my secrets in case it's good, but we worked on it pretty hard, and got a lot of family in town tonight, and hopefully I run good for everybody coming out tonight. So.
Well, R2 Designs is Ryan Richmond's company. They sponsored the race here tonight. He is looking to have a good night in Bud Heavy and in the Cup Series. He's your Rookie of the Year points leader at this point in time. Well, always got to like R2 Designs. They do a lot of really good decal work on some of these karts.
They look awesome. DNQ is one of the best looking fields out there. Even with low budgets, R2 Designs gets out there on the nose of some of these go-karts and make them look top notch so they look like a deserved run out front.
Speaking of top notch, let's go down to our Cup Series competitor tonight. I know, I already read it online.
Oh, now, pick it up. No, pick it up. It's right for 425.
Oh, my God. You're running 425, too?
Yeah. Oh, my God. See?
Oh,
that's what we talking about.
That fucker's heavy.
There's as much land on there as he weighs.
You need that crank on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I just picked up this fucking go-kart, and it is like 900 pounds. You're running Bud Heavy tonight, too?
Yeah, I figured I'd piss off as many people as possible tonight.
So you and Jason Denny has become one of the best rivalries we've seen. You didn't get a chance to run the last race, but having you back, has it become fun between the two of you racing each other?
I mean, it has. I mean, we race normally like this on a Friday night deal, so, I mean, it's just good for people to see how dirty he actually is on a regular night.
Well, it's really good to see rivalries in racing. You, Jason Denny, a couple other guys in the Busch Series racing each other hard. Tonight we're running the top of the racetrack. How much different is it than running the bottom?
Not that much different, really. All you got to do is turn a little bit more, and that's about it.
So running both features here tonight, have you ever run a kart this heavy?
No. God, no.
Well, we know if this kart flips over, Christian Moody will be flat as a pancake, so he's got that going for him tonight. But he's really friggin' fast. Look for him and Jason Denny to race the shit out of each other in this feature. Pit crew's getting ready for the Bud Heavy feature. Coming up next.
Green buddies, I got some bad news. We got canned. They want us off the rocks by the end of the day.
What did you just say?
Canned? Who got canned?
Okay, freeze the swamp. You guys can talk.
Of course we can talk, you bonehead.
What does canned mean?
But all you said was Bud and
We were reading from the script. You should try it sometime.
What does canned mean?
Don't be fired.
Canned means fired? I can't breathe. Gonna get sick?
Wait, no, don't get sick.
Getting sick?
Put your head between your legs.
Someone get him a bucket.
Now, how is that supposed to sell beer?
Bud Heavy starting lineup. David Mayo on his first pole and Caitlin Benj on the outside pole.
Second row, we got Christian Moody, who's an early favorite, and CJ Winslow in the 2.
That kart is heavy as hell. Nick Beatty, our first ever Bud Heavy winner in the next row, Roger Whitaker.
Ryan Richmond will round out the field, who's a familiar face. Look for him to get up front.
Bud Heavy Series rules, 425 pounds, max is pink and blue. NKA, AKRA engine package. Very common here in this area. And we're starting to get a little bit more Bud Heavy karts from last time, so that's always good. And it looks like we got some weather in the background there. Hopefully we can get all tonight's races in.
I think so. It looks like the track's rolled in. It's nice and smooth, ready to go. As we have Christian Moody and our R2 Designs on board, starting outside the second row. Look for him to get out front early and get past that 478 hammer car.
Tell you what, if that thing flips over, he is going to look like a pancake. That thing is friggin' heavy. Ryan Richmond, the other R2 Designs in-car camera, the series sponsor for tonight's race. So it'll be very good to watch him. He hates wearing a camera because he always runs like shit when he wears it.
Hopefully he can break that jinx tonight and do a little something for R2 Designs and all of his fans out there.
I love coming here and doing the pit stops. That is a big game changer when you go to these races, and always fun to see the teams get involved with it.
Yeah, it's a little extra execution you got to pay attention to during the race. It's not just hammer down and turn left. You got to really rely on the whole team effort to get her done and put your cart out front.
David Mayo leads the field for the first time off of turn number 4 in that hammer cart. Green flag, we are underway, and he jumps off to a great lead with CJ Winslow trying to make the move on Benj, and he will do that getting into 1. Roger Whitaker goes around.
Whitaker with a tough break. It looks like we're going to go yellow real quick. Or
We
is the green flag going to stay out?
Weather's on the way, so we got to go. CJ Winslow, as we go on board with Christian Moody, look, who's turning the wheel a lot more right than he is left right now, JZ.
Yeah, that track looks a little slick right now. He might not have the right top coat on those tires, and with running the top, there's not a whole lot of room to mess up, so he's got to be on his A game.
You know, running the top side here, it does give you options. You can run the bottom and slide up, which Moody looks like he's sliding everywhere, or you can just stay up top and not make a move, but it seems like you get a little bit more options to make a pass getting underneath somebody.
You definitely do. If you run the top, you don't have to put as much wheel into the go-kart to get it to turn, get a little bit of a wider arc, and maybe a better run-off. But sometimes there's shorter ways faster, especially if you're maxed out and hammered down and you're not lifting or anything like that. So we'll see how this pans out as the field's starting to separate, and the number 1 cart's going to the inside.
Caitlin Bench trying to make a move on Nick Beatty. Beatty, the first ever Bud Heavy winner out here. He had a great card that day we watched him run this race, but watching Caitlin Bench run the top side, she's a Busch Series points leader right now, looking to close in on that championship towards the end of the season. She's run really good in those lower horsepower engines, running fairly well in this higher horsepower tonight.
Yeah, I think the fans are going all in binge drinking for Caitlin Benj here. She's been a name that's been moving up that grid. We talk about her every single week, and she's definitely, no longer trash. She's someone you got to worry about, and she's beating on his back bumper there.
Everybody's binge drinking for Caitlin Benj. That's what it's going to be from now on, binge drinking. As David Mayonnaise has lapped Roger Whittaker. CJ Winslow had a good run up there. He started falling out of the seat, though, or something's going on. He's starting to drop back quite a bit.
With stock double bacon cheeseburger, man, it's easy to get fall behind as the 54's around.
Ryan Richmond goes for a spin. That camera's leading up to its reputation here. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, way too low. Way too low. The track is wet as fuck. So, I mean, that's the first problem. You cannot go down there.
No, you really can't. You've got to keep those right side tires in that Monster Energy Ultra Black line and find the grip. As Moody's into the pits to do his tire change and get it out of the way early.
He is doing an air pressure adjustment here. His shit was loose as fuck. He's going to have to fix it. And he had to do something. He had to put some air in the left rear. There's no doubt about that. Here we go. Green flag are underway. See if Moody can get any better with that stagger closed up a little bit in the rear as the whole field shit show down into one. Wow.
Mayo looks good. That hammer cart's running well out front. He hasn't put a wheel wrong all night. We'll see how this shakes out as Ben's drinking on the inside, funneling that Bud Heavy, going for the position.
Trying to make the move on Nick Beatty, who holds her down. Dude, this shit is rough. I mean, you're trying to get past, yeah, I see you got the high line trying to hold him down on the wet shit, but holy fuck. I mean, that is fairly impressive, and she's driving away now as Christian Moody looks like that air pressure's helping him out as he's rolling even with Nick Beatty.
Yeah, you can see that high line give him a little bit more momentum.
Oh, yeah.
He gets a little bit of help in the left rear.
Yeah, Beatty just fucking shit-canned him. We stay green. We've got weather on the way. Mayonnaise still leading this thing with Winslow. Winslow had a rough race at the intercourse, and it's glad to see him back in the series running competitive as well.
Some guys just don't like turning right, and that's fine. This is a judgment-free zone here in the DNQ series. I'm just glad to see him getting a good run and building a little bit of confidence there at P2.
Ben's Drinker's back there. She's on her third Bud Heavy, and she's coming to the front, buddy.
She's flying. You know, you get in that groove, Bob, where you're getting your third or fourth beer, and all of a sudden those darts start hitting the bullseye. You're nailing every cup with a ping pong ball on the table. That's where she's at right now. That's exactly right. It's 2 a.m. Every chick or guy is all over you in the case of maybe Caitlin Bench, and she's going to the front, Bob. She's flying.
Yeah, this is no joke right here, and the caution is out. That is our halfway break. Time to change our right rear. I cannot wait to watch this shit. The pit crews are ready. The pit gorillas have stretched out. They're going to motherfuck their pit guns. I cannot wait to see what happens from this.
Yeah. I just hope they got their patches and their credentials ready. Otherwise, they're going to get kicked out of the track. I know Jeremy's strict with that stuff.
No pit road speed here. This is fucking 1985. Live in pit stop. David Mayo in the box. God, I love pit stops in the DNQ series.
Look at this technology. They actually bring electric impacts to the grid to try to get an advantage on the rest of the teams who may be using a tire iron still at this point in time.
Did they glue lug nuts is the question. I see some guys must have. No, some of them have, some of them haven't. These
some
pit
of them
guns,
are going to a backup gun already.
Christian Moody with a very good stop. He does not have the Paoli pit gun. He is wide out and looks like he's going to come out in third place. And we got a bunch of broke dick fucks who wouldn't pay for a pit crew. Well, our next race is the Iredell County Fair, and that is sponsored by Lead 2 Real Estate. Hallmark event, Jay-Z. One of those events that we look at and we go, man, you really want to win that? It's throwback weekend. We got throwback Mike McLaughlin trophies. Really excited for this one.
I know it gets me to pitch a tent in my pants when that wall's right down close to the racing groove. I know they always wreck a bunch of stuff, and whether you want to admit it or not, that's what the fans want to see. So it's going to be a whole bunch of carnies and carnage at the fair, and I can't wait to see it.
Nothing but great people watching, a lot of white trash, fist fights, and motherfucking. That's what we're going to see at the Iredell County Fair, and that is brought to you all by Lead 2 Real Estate Group. I'm sure Boston Reed is really proud that we just said that and his company name in the same sentence. But here we go. We are getting ready to roll. Pit stops are over. Who is going to fall to the back here, Jay-Z? They just changed the right rear tire. It's a totally different tire. Does it fuck you up tremendously as we are back underway as David Mayo leads his field?
It can. If you did not get the right prep on the tire to get to fire off and maintain the back half of this run here, you could go to the back as Mayo's getting a challenge with Christian Moody. He moves Moody out of the way. Moody back to third, losing fourth. Ben's drinking on the outside.
Yeah, Moody just got totally friggin' pushed out of the way. If he gets to the front, I expect him to do something about it. Maybe Moody had that shitty right rear on there to start the race, and now he's put his good shit on. We'll see. Some of these guys start on the hard compound. They put the softer compound on during the pit stop. You definitely have to be pretty soft tonight looking at this track.
I think so. Yeah, it's glazed over. It's wet. You know, you can see a very distinct Monster Ultra Black Energy groove laying down on that racetrack from all the aggressive preps people are putting down. But from the looks of it, it's taken a little while for Moody's kart to kick in because Benj is all over his rear end.
He is sideways still. I don't think they've gotten their shit right. As Mayo's shit is completely right. I love that camera view watching these guys step out off the corner, but nobody's touching Dave Mayo right now.
No, he is so far out in front. New zip code, walking out of everybody's life and not giving a shit. He's got his eye on that trophy right now.
David Manglaze checking out on this field. The battle right now is for third, fourth, and fifth as Benj is going to take it away from Christian Moody with Nick Beatty watching right behind them.
You know, Beatty fell back early, but after this pit stop, he's looking sporty again. He's trying to sneak by Moody, you know, just like Caitlin Benj did. As Moody, old school, 1985, no gloves.
Yes, very ARCA-like of him here in the Bud Heavy Series. Mayo out front, it is so much fun to watch these guys run the higher groove. It's a completely different racetrack when you take away the bottom from these guys, and it might actually take a different setup as well.
You know, I think it does. With the normal layout here, when you're running the bottom, they really arc it in pretty aggressively, especially in 1 and 2. They seem to enter kind of high and turn down. But they have a much wider, smoother arc here. So maybe you want to do some different things with rate transfer because you don't have to pitch the card in so quick. And it looks like Mayo is the best one to figure out this new groove here tonight.
Tell you what, the one race that I won on the high line when I raced out here years ago, you had to let off a little bit earlier, not turn the wheel as much, just like you said, and it was a ton of fun. As the caution is out, that'll be our 5 to go caution. Mayo smoking like Snoop Dogg's riding shotgun.
Uh-oh, it looks like someone might be dropping a valve here as that motor is not looking good.
Yeah, and the choose cone is out. Winslow went to the top, dog. Why did you not pick the top if you're the leader? I guess he's banking on somebody not getting under him and slide jobbing him. I'm guessing that's what it is.
Maybe he can point and shoot and get off the corner a little bit better than everybody else, but on the last restart, Moody gave him a run for his money, so Mayo's got to be careful.
Got to watch out if David Mayo can make he's going slow as shit. They got to get in Kyle's box before they fire, so he is definitely taking his time, and I think that's actually a really good strategy. As there they go. He starts rolling, and we are back underway. A little premature in the box, but it'll go. It'll go. Oh, no. McGowan said, not in my box, bitch. We are going to try it again.
Kyle's very protective of his box. Only certain people are allowed to enter when he sees fit. So, obviously, no means no. Do it again.
No one can enter Kyle's box without his permission, and not until he's ready for them to enter it. Here we go. That's a lot better. Mayo gets Mayo gets a jump, but not too much of one. Kyle will allow it. Softer entry into the box.
Oh, and Mayo with the foreplay warms it up, gets a good jump on the box, and he's P1 with who's that in the number 2 right behind him again?
CJ Winslow. Not Carl Winslow, CJ Winslow.
CJ Winslow running for his life because Caitlin Benj is down on the inside looking for P2. She won't be denied tonight.
He gets a little sideways. Benj gets underneath him. She is going to take over the second place, but I don't think she's got enough time to catch Mayo.
I don't think so. Mayo's in a class by himself. Still a solid run being P2, but I'd imagine you see that hammer cut out in front and you just want to stuff him in the fence and take P1 for yourself there.
I'll tell you what, Christian Moody I thought was going to be a little bit better than this. Maybe he'll get a little bit better before the Cup Series race. He's running Beatty down the backstretch. Oh, my God.
Well, he's figured out what not to do tonight so far as we get 1 to go here. And Mayo having to be concerned about Ben. She's right there 4 or 5 kart lengths back.
Not going to touch him. David Mayo, for the first time in his career, will take home the DNQ Bud Heavy Series feature victory. That was a pretty good race.
I think we know someone's getting drunk tonight.
Dominated.
CJ Winslow comes home with the second place here tonight. CJ, a really good effort. I mean, this is probably your best finish in DNQ competition. How was it up there running the high side tonight?
It was fun. It was. I like the high side anyway. I'm more of a top guy, so running the bottom's not really my style. But no, I thought it was awesome. Yeah, this is my first time actually running something competitive motor-wise. So I was pretty happy with that, and it feels good to be up front.
Talk about the last restart there. You took the high side. We all thought you were going to win the race because you picked the high side. And you jumped the restart, and then we had to redo another restart. But if you could get the jump, do you think you could have held on to it?
I was really too free the second half after the pit stop. But I think if I got in front of him, I give a hell of a whirl to stay in front of him, but I don't know.
CJ Winslow comes home in the second place tonight in Bud Heavy.
I got to get your picture.
Caitlin Bench, not only a Busch Series star, she's also finished third tonight in the Bud Heavy feature. Caitlin, how was it running the top side?
It was pretty good. It's just impossible to pass. So I started on the outside the first time, and I had to just fall back pretty much 4 or 5 spots and had to work my way back up. But, yeah, starting on the outside is not the way to go around here.
Did you learn anything for the Busch feature here tonight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I found out a little bit of a better way to pass people. You just have to pretty much not wreck them, but door slam them pretty hard, and it's going to be pretty hard in the Predators because you'll lose all your momentum, but we'll see what we got.
Caitlin Bench comes home in the third place tonight. Second, I fucked up. Second. David Mayo down here in Victory Lane, his first Bud Heavy victory, and he is going to celebrate with his crew down here. A 30-lap feature here tonight, pit stops, and David Mayo, the fastest guy here tonight. David, as a pit crew member, you can definitely respect the job that your team did on pit road here tonight to keep you in the lead at the end.
Oh, yeah. I really got to thank Joe Slingerland and Andy, I can't say his last name, for coming out and pitting the car for us. They did an excellent job. I knew with Joe changing tires for me, he's a little old, but he still got it in him. He did a wonderful job for me.
I had some heavy pressure there at the end from CJ Winslow and a couple of the other guys behind you. We had to do another restart because you jumped a little bit early, but what was it like out there running the higher end of this racetrack?
Running the higher end actually has a lot more, grip than what you think it would. So, like, when you would enter 3 and 4, like, you would enter a little bit high, but it would almost turn the car for you and just drive straight up off the corner. I mean, the track conditions out there for the high groove is amazing. Never in my life thought it was going to be that way.
Why did you choose the bottom on the final restart? We were all questioning it watching the race. What made you choose the bottom?
Well, I knew I was going to have tough competition behind me. She runs really well, Kristen. That's her name, right?
Who's that?
The one cart?
Caitlin.
Caitlin, sorry, my bad. Caitlin is one heck of a driver, and I knew when I saw her behind me I had to pick the bottom because if I would have picked the outside, she probably would end up winning there at the end.
David Mayo comes home. Oh.
We also would like to thank all my guys. There's all of them. I'm going to name them off. So we got John Kinder, get well soon. Caleb Mossenberg for doing all my tires. I'm sure I missed his last name. My wife and my kid, Kadrin. We'd like to thank Rims One for helping us out as much as they do, and Ghostface Brewery for everything they do, and Hammer Carts. Thank you, sir.
David Mayo comes home with a victory here tonight in the Bud Heavy Series. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations to David Mayo and his first ever Bud Heavy victory. We will be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Boston Reed, broker-owner at Lead 2 Real Estate Group in Charlotte. We know that when you consider selling your home, you have 2 questions. How much will my home sell for today? And what agent will sell my home for the maximum price with the least hassle in the shortest amount of time? At Lead 2, we know where the buyers are and how they search for a home. Today's tech-savvy home buyers are searching on the most popular real estate websites. Buyers may see hundreds of photos before they ever decide to see a property in person. We ensure that your property gets accurate information and maximum exposure on sites such as Realtor.com, Zillow, and Trulia. Get in touch with us. We would love the opportunity to come out, meet you, and show you how we can help get your home marketed and sold.
DNQ ARCA feature starting lineup: Nigel Standish on the pole, Chris Page, season regular on the outside.
Row numero dos, Ronnie Shirk, fan favorite, and Tony Barkman.
Barkman filling in for Kinder tonight. Our 2 legends, John Jarrell and Jonathan Mabe in the next row.
Josh Altice, a relative newcomer, and you know him, you love him, David Markham.
His brother Thomas Markham and Chris Kirkland driving for Dehan Motorsports, and Tom Strawberry, another one of those drivers that has featured in the Busch Series most of the time. Pink Magic ARCA Series, amateur talent, the #1 thing on there, Jay-Z.
Yeah, and number 2, stock Predator is what these carts should have bolted onto them.
Yeah, we'll check that out after this race. 2 substitute drivers tonight. We've got Tony Barkman driving for John Kinder, and Brad Jeffords has Tom Strawberry driving for him. Ronnie Shirk has a Hearts in Kart camera, and Josh Altus will have the Pink Magic Tire Prep in-car camera as well for tonight. Cannot wait to watch these guys out here run, especially doing a pit stop. ARCA pit crew members about die when ARCA drivers try to do a stop, so I guarantee you it's going to be about the same tonight. As we are underway, the field can't even fucking stay closed up. They'll go 7 wide and probably fucking wreck one in turn 1. We are underway as Shirk makes the move to second already.
Yeah, Shirk's doing pretty good. I know he's been running up front the last couple of races here. Hasn't had the most luck of anyone in the world, but he's had speed in the stopwatch, and you got to start somewhere.
Dude, he's starting to get his shit together a little bit. And you know what? The other one I want to throw out is Chris Page. Chris Page never drove anything until this season. Mike Hart's put him in a Hendrick car, and his shit is hauling ass. And he's definitely gotten a lot better. Spent a lot of time working out, too. And I'm not talking about Bud Heavy working out. He's actually going to CrossFit and working out all the time. So that's very good to see out of somebody wanting to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to take it a little bit seriously, put the beer down, pick the weights up, and next thing you know, you're running top 5, then you're running top 3, then you're getting a W.
Yeah, exactly. As we're watching the last place battle, that's Tom Strawberry and Chris Kirkland. Who gives a fuck? Why are we filming that? Here we go. David Markham to the inside of Tony Barkman. John Jarrell trying to make the move on him. Barkman, he's in a fucking Joe Gibbs car. He should be running better than that, and he's getting his fucking shit pushed in right now.
Well, you know, you got Denny.
Yeah.
You got the other drivers up front that I can't even think of, Kyle Busch, and then you got people like Daniel Suarez who have the same equipment but seem to run way out back for some reason. So maybe this is a scenario where him and his crew chiefs have to run on the same page, or maybe you know, the limit on his talent ship's a little bit lower than everybody else.
He's just not getting as good as shit as Kinder gets every week. That's the problem.
It's got to be. You know, they spend just as much time on the plate, but it just must be the equipment they get handed totally different.
Nigel Standish leading this race with Chris Page rocking his shit right now, trying to make the rundown, and holy fuck, we got cars going a lap down 5 laps into this race. Chris Kirkland, lap down. Tom Strawberry, gonna be a lap down. Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck him. That's good. That was a good move there by Chris Page. A veteran move, if I say myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And Page is in Kinder's equipment, correct?
No, Chris Page is in the Hearts HVAC cart.
That's right. Wow, Page is impressing me then. I couldn't figure out why he's out front. That's just those curls he's doing, those biceps. He's flexing on everybody this evening.
You damn right. He's muscled up. Before you know it, he's actually going to rip the steering wheel off, turn the steering column in half. As we're on board, Ronnie Shirk, he's kind of up there. He started to fade a little bit. He's somebody who definitely needs to put the beer down and pick the weights up.
Yeah, you know, he starts off strong. He's got some speed. He's looking on the inside. Oh, a little left rear loving there.
Yeah, Chris Kirkland fucking lap down. He shouldn't even be near him. And Tony Barkman right there. That's the one filling in for Kinder in the lime green cart.
There we go.
And there's our leaders. So he's about to go a lap down. This is like when David Reagan got in the 18 car at, I think it was Texas a couple years ago after Kyle Busch got parked. Feels great, guys. Yeah, all right, you're 25th. So, what the fuck are we missing? John Jarrell in the spam cart goes around off of turn number 2. That's going to bring out a caution.
You know, Jarrell's one of those guys that he's had his flashes, his moments of brilliance, but more often than not, we see him point in the wrong direction on the racetrack. Hopefully, you know, sooner or later, he'll get it together and get a dub here.
I'll tell you what, there have been times he's about won these races as Barkman fucking shit cans him. How that happens.
Yeah, that's no fault of Jarrell's then. He just got a little bit mistreated there. He got Me Too'd up out of the groove.
Yeah, Suarez spun him there because he was running 20-5th and needed a caution to close the field back up. So, I mean, that's part of it. Oh, we needed that. It's pit stop time. Here we go. Can Chris Page hold the lead on this pit stop? Nigel Standish has been fast all night. We'll see how these pit crews do. No pit road speed as they haul ass, and this is an insurance claim waiting to happen as cars hit pit road.
Very slow. We'll call it methodical.
Nigel Standish
Different
down here.
approaches.
Chris Page. Jason Denny, the Cup Series driver, changing for Chris Page here tonight. And he put the nuts in his mouth. That's always a good thing, you know.
The jokes write themselves at this point. Whoa, Ronnie Shirk, quick stop.
Ronnie Shirk, lightning. Chris Page gets held up by Standish's cart in there. He's going to come out second. The nuts in the mouth technique works for Denny. Josh Altis with a really good stop there. That's Bobby Dodder's crew guys down there. David Markham, a good stop. Parkman, all right.
Oh, I wonder if Standish got out. Their shit. Oh, fuck yeah. We got trouble. Ooh. We got heads shaking. We've got a problem down here. Tough break.
We've got the entire crew over the wall working on one tire here. So I don't know if it's an equipment malfunction, a people malfunction, or what it is, but a tough break.
Girlfriend's mad. Mom's mad. Grandma's mad. Everybody's fucking mad. Nigel's mad. I don't know what happened down there to him, but that sucks.
Well, I wonder if they broke the stud off.
Who the fuck knows? Well, for the information, so you guys don't ask me 900 times, go to DNQseries.com for all the rules, schedule, and updates for the series. That's DNQseries.com for all the updates. Do not ask me again what the fucking rules are. There they are. Go to that website. Ronnie Shirk will lead this field to green. Can he hold them off and win this bitch? As we go green, Chris Page in second. Altice does not get the jump that he had hoped on that restart as they head down into 2. David Mayo is a series changer. He found out what happened. Let's go down and see what happened.
Well, see, what happened was they're a little stripped out. He didn't have the ARP studs on his go-kart, so we struggled a little bit. So we only got one on there. If he don't like it, he just needs to pull it the fuck in and let it eat, one or the other.
Well, those are true words spoken by a pit crew member himself as Chris Page makes the move for the lead under Ronnie Shirk. We got a new leader. Shirk tries to cross him over, can't do it.
No, he's gone. Shirk seems to be struggling with the right front on that go-kart all night long on exit. It seems like it's just scrubbing a lot of speed, and as we got a mess here going across the start-finish line.
Standish has one nut tight on that bitch, and he is wheeling the shit out of it. As they're 3 wide behind him, will they make it through? Yes, they will. John Kinder's got to be nervous watching Barkman run this cart because it'd be scaring the shit out of me.
He can count the dollar bills on all hands and toes you have to spend replacing every corner of that go-kart.
Barkman's doing a good job. He hasn't totaled it yet. As Standish trying to make his way back through the field, he is already up to 4th trying to make the move on Josh Altis. Can't do it just yet. His cart is fast.
This track's changing every lap they're out there, and I think a couple of these guys got a handle on it, and Standish is one of them. He goes underneath Altice and starts driving out of his life.
Let's go on board with Altice as he's trying to make his way up to Ronnie Shirk. Looks a little tight there. He's turning the wheel quite a bit.
Yeah, he's just scrubbing speed as 305 is getting underneath him.
Mr. Lovendahl, Mr. 305. That's Baby Seal Lovendahl there making the move on Altice as well. He come out of nowhere. He was running like shit before. That right rear must have brought his shit back to life.
He's going for P3 right now. He's underneath Shirk, and I think he's going to get that spot coming off of 4.
Yeah, it's pretty tough for Shirk. I mean, he had a good stop, but he's got some kind of issue. He's got his hand up already. He's got to have something going on.
I think he's just communicating via sign language saying, leave me the hell alone and stop beating on my back bumper. But Lovendahl's having none of it, driving him up towards the wall.
Wow. He drove him all the way down to the infield. He's fucking pissed off at him. That's going to cost all of them spots. They just lost 2 spots right there trying to run people down in the infield as the caution is out. Looks like it could be our 5 to go caution here. And looks like Ronnie Shirk has a problem with his right rear tire. I think it's loose. He is saying loose wheel. He had a fast pit stop, so I'm not very surprised.
When you only hang one lug, it'll be quick.
Yeah, but you're going to have to suffer the damn consequences. He has got a loose right rear wheel. He said it's shaking like a bitch on the radio.
Well, luckily with the 5 to go, maybe he can choose the high side on the choose cone restart, and maybe a miracle will happen here. He can get a top 5.
Usually the studs are damaged. I think that's what they're saying is he's got one tight, but the studs are killed. That's part of the problem. You're gonna have a fast stop like that. You better make sure your shit's right, and his pit crew totally fucked him. Well, here we go. We're getting ready to go green. Will Shirk's right rear stay on? And who is gonna win this race? Chris Page gets going in the box. Altis's clutch must not be set right as he went from 2nd to 5th. Does Nigel? Oh, there goes the right rear. We knew it.
You called it. You could see it coming a mile away. But hey, 0-0 at that point. What are you going to do? I just admire the guy for going full send anyways.
You know what? Ronnie Shirk has had such good cars. He could win the ARCA championship next year if he can just finish races, as we are still green. They got the right rear off the racetrack.
and we are watching Nigel Standish trying to run down Chris Page. And there's only a few laps left as Tony Barkman in fourth, and Kinder's kart looks like he's going to have a good finish, but only a few laps left. Can Chris Page get his first win?
I think so, but Standish's go-kart looks pretty good coming off the corner. He gets like a kart length or a half a kart length in the middle every single time and can run a tad lower than the leader. So I think he might get him here as we have one to go.
White flag, Chris Page is looking to win his first ever race for Hart's HVAC Heating and Cooling. Coming out of turn number 4, he is going to take his first ever career win. Great win for Chris Page.
Yeah, it was dominating pretty much flag to flag and took names and kicked ass.
Smoking a cig down here is Cliff Levendahl, third place finish. No practice, showed up, ran the race. How was it?
Hell, it was awesome. The track is a little slick. You know, you had to move around, find your groove, because if you wanted to go in low, it'd slide up, and the track's not good enough because of the kart count, and then slide across the groove. But I did what I could, smoked a cigarette under the brake on the front stretch right in front of your camera, got my stuff together and drove to the front, work on it and see if we can't win the big one at the end of the night.
Cliff Levendahl hopes to take home a win in the DNQ Busch Series feature here in a few minutes. A pissed off at best Nigel Standish down here. Nigel, you had problems during the pit stop.
Fucking problems.
Went to the back, drove all the way back up to the front, finished second. You pretty much went over every emotion here tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed because I would have liked to race him. I mean, I think that right rear was better than the other right rear, and we had a chance. But it started fucking God knows where. At the first pit stall, had like 8 crew members, and we couldn't get the damn thing changed. I don't understand what happened. We had to use help from another guy, another crew came over and helped us. And we only had one lug nut on it, so hopefully you're not inspecting lugs, because I thought I was getting up on my head. But
we might find you 10 cents a lug nut you're missing, but Nigel Standish comes home third tonight. A lot of adversity tonight here, guys. Good finish for him. Down here in Victory Lane, his first ever win in the DNQ ARCA Series. On the road to a championship here tonight. Tight points race, Chris Page and John Kinder, who is injured. These guys are going after it in the points, and this is a big night for Chris Page, as he is going to get out of the kart victorious here tonight in the R2 Designs race, 30-lap feature. Chris Page celebrates down here. Wow. Chris, let me tell you, that was an intense couple laps to watch you go out there and run.
That was a lot of fun. Kart basically drove itself. Just aim it a little bit and hold on. That was awesome. Appreciate everything Mike Hartz does for us. I wouldn't get this opportunity without him for sure, and appreciate this series.
You had to hold off Nigel Standish there at the end. He was coming pretty quick. It looked like you had the best kart by far. What was it like to run the high side here?
It's a lot of fun. Actually, I was kind of worried about it when I first got here. Never been up there, and actually the tires Mike set up for us, no problem. Cut right through, so it was actually a lot better than I thought.
Chris Page comes home in the first place here tonight, his first DNQ Series win here in the ARCA Series. Well, the Cup Series getting ready to go. We'll be right back after this message.
Some things should never change, like the crisp, cold refreshment of Busch. But some things should, like Frank's Camp Socks.
Belly buttons are funny. Are you an innie or an outie? What do you got?
Innie.
Tell me what you got.
Outie.
Tell me what you got.
Innie.
We've got 3 innies and only 1 outie. What are the chances?
Yeah, wow.
Front row, Jason Denny, current championship points leader, and last year's champion, LJ McCleary.
Second row, Christian Moody and Tony Barkman.
Barkman making his debut. Ryan Richmond, legend Curtis Markham on the outside of that row.
And rounding out the field, Alex Ripstein in the 49R.
Hart's HVAC Cup Series. Same as Bud Heavy, just a little bit lighter, 390. These are guys that run pretty much everywhere. Just allow those plumper guys to still run with this group at 390. That's the idea is to have them run both series, and we're kind of closing in on that, giving people more chances to race throughout a night.
And they should. You know, you get more track time, you get better at what you're doing, and LJ McCleary here with the Tar Heel Racing Supply on board.
And Jason Denny will have the E3 Entertainment onboard camera as well. Denny chasing down Tim Nye's win record of 7 in a season. Very hard to do, but he is already at 5 this year, and he missed a race. And he is looking to really close in on this championship. Nobody's really touching him, so we'll see how he does tonight.
7 is hard to do, but he's been hard to beat as they approach Kyle's box here.
Let's watch this green flag from a split screen from the front row guys who had the cameras. Then he gets to jump, and McCleary is going to lose a spot starting on that outside, which is surprising.
Yeah, you know, I'd think he'd be able to put that right rear up there in that moisture, that cool, wet dirt, and get a better run off the corner, but Denny's driving away.
Man, these karts are so much faster than those other Predator pieces of shit. I really missed the modified engines. Those things were way faster than these as we're on board the Tar Heel Racing Supply Zinc camera with LJ McCleary.
Yeah, you know, the old Cup Series with those stock appearing engines, that was a man's man would drive that go-kart as you'd haul in there and just hope that right rear was going to stick. You didn't step into the fence. On another note, Christian Moody appears to have fixed his handling woes as he's running P2 hanging with Denny there.
Yes, he is. And looks like LJ McCleary, the Matt Kenseth of the Cup Series here in DNQ, is running third. His stuff's pretty legit here, and hopefully he can make a move on Moody. He's trying to run him down, but nobody has anything for Jason Denny at this point. We still have a pit stop, though, and maybe these guys have their shitty right rears on. We'll see what has to happen here as Moody is all over the racetrack.
He's high, wide, and not so handsome so far. It seems to be they just can't get that right rear in the racetrack tonight in both classes he's run so far.
He's got to be cheating like a motherfucker. His shit is sliding around, and he's driving away from McCleary. So, oh my goodness, we're going to have a lot of tech to do in this series in the future.
Well, can we just bring legit pieces? Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, we haven't opened one of these really in a long time, so I'm sure it'll happen here pretty soon. As watching the battle between Ryan Richmond and Curtis Markham seems to be the best one on track, and looks like McCleary and Moody may have a nice battle here. And oh God, we just got a hunk of dirt on the camera. Son of a bitch.
You know, that track's held onto its moisture all night. You know, that groove's definitely working in as Denny keeps extending his lead there. But you know, these guys are trying to get a handle on it best they can.
Jason Denny leads this field. We will be right back after this message.
A man isn't measured by where he started. Just where he finishes.
Up out of turn 4, takes the rumble win!
Champions one race at a time.
Welcome back to the Millbridge Speedway. It's R2 Designs Night here in Salisbury, North Carolina. The DNQ Cup Series out here racing. Jason Denny currently waxing that ass, Jay-Z, and it has been a Jason Denny night, but we're getting ready to do pit stops, and that's going to change shit quite a bit.
You know, that's quite the equalizer here as Markham is still in a good fight with a number 54 there as they're all over each other.
He and race sponsor Ryan Richmond have been racing each other really hard, and for Ryan Richmond, it's got to be pretty cool to say that you raced with like a 5-time Martinsville late model winner like Curtis Markham. He's run Busch Series, Cup Series, you name it, he's run it, and he's run well in it. It's just pretty cool to see him out here. It's good for the guys racing to race him.
Yeah, a little notoriety. It's like that being able to go home and brag to your buddies you slept with the girl that was the prettiest one at the state fair. You know what I mean? It's something to cash that check and put a feather in your hat.
Yeah, next month we're really going to see what's the nicest one out there as the caution has waved here, and it is pit stop time. And we got a lot of trained pit crews out here. Some of the guys that are pitting these cars, pit race cars on Sundays. So it is really fun to watch and see who comes out here to pit these things.
Oh man, no speed limit. They're flying into the pits here. Moody's got his team ready to go. One guy with a tire, one guy with a gun. As McCleary and Denny seem to prevent each other from getting clean stops or clean entry anyways.
Tell you what, I was down at Christian Moody's kart before. He had the right rear covered up. I happened to see what it had on there. It had a beautiful cone for aligning the wheels up as McCleary does his pit stop. Denny down here doing his stop. There was a couple guys that glued lug nuts. I mean, they got a cone on the end of the axle. It's pretty cool to see some of the stuff these guys come up with.
They take it seriously. Getting, as we get away from Denny, as he's got swag on 100,000 millions tonight, as he's laying a beat down on everybody. But we'll have to see how these pit stops shake out.
Yeah, the rule was if you didn't have a right rear to change, you just went to the back, and that's Tony Barkman making his Cup Series debut. And that kart that Mayo won in last race. But we want to thank R2 Designs tonight for their sponsorship, as there's Ryan Richmond. If you need any decals, please contact R2 Designs and Ryan Richmond as we are getting ready to go back green. Christian Moody and LJ McCleary control the front row. Jason Denny's marred back there in 5th. We'll see if he can get back up to the front as we go green.
I think Denny's still going to pull this out. He drives like a pissed off guy. I don't think Kyle appreciated the way they got into his box.
No, he said not in my box. As we're getting ready to go green again, Moody jumped a little early. Here we go, back under green. Looks like it's a pretty even start. McCleary actually almost got a little bit of a jump on him as they head down into 1.
Yes, side by side, 2 by 2. McCleary gets the short end of the stick as he gets shuffled back to 4th.
Yeah, they go 3 wide in front of him, and that's going to be interesting to watch as we go on board with Jason Denny, the E3 Entertainment onboard camera. They're going to make the move under Curtis Mark. His shit is so much faster than everybody else's. It's kind of almost unfair as Christian Moody's trying to check out.
I don't know if Moody's going to get away. Denny's super fast here as he gets under McCleary and gets underneath Richmond in the same corner. Little bit of left rear loving as they thunder down the back straight into 3. Denny moves him out of the way. Right side panel into the 54. Finally gets that position.
Little bump and run. He's clear, but Moody is checked out to an over 15 kart length lead, and we'll see if Jason Denny's going to be fast enough to catch him, which he's definitely plenty fast. It's just if he's going to have enough time to catch him before that 5 to go caution. So 5 to go caution will come out. He'll have some time to catch back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Denny drives pissed off. He drives like that guy that took a girl to the prom, and the bigger guy there took the girl home. He's kind of held on to that grudge his whole life. He's that guy that's pissed off. That anger is what makes him as good as he is.
Yeah, and that kart has been so good this year. I think Christian Moody and Dylan, I think Trevor Ward are the only 2 other guys to win in this series this year. Hearts has definitely cleaned up in their own series this year, and very good to see Jason Denny trying to chase and break a record. Tim Nye's, and I think at this point the best that he can do is tie it. But that year Tim Nye won all those races, that was out of control, and it just shows you how good this kart is for him to even be trying to challenge that record.
Yeah, Tim had, I think it's Brandon from GRP, correct?
Yes.
Had him setting up with some great equipment, and just like Hartz is setting up Denny with some excellent equipment here tonight. I mean, look at those hands. They're baby smooth. He's not sawing. He's not turning left. He's not sawing back right. That kart is on rails. He's getting right on the back bumper of Moody as they're negotiating some lap traffic here.
Yeah, I cannot believe how fast he got up to the front there to get to Moody as we are going to get our 5 to go caution. There it is. 5 to go caution. Denny's so much faster than Moody. Moody's going to have to do all he can just to hold the lead here as we're getting ready to go green. McCleary took the outside. I think that's a good choice here tonight, and we'll see. I mean, you'd rather start in the front instead of 3rd in line as we're going back green.
Yeah, with 5 to go, you might be able to just make your go-kart wide enough. You can hang on to a podium position here as they're all 3 wide. McCleary gets his short end of the stick again, but Denny on the inside of Moody. Moody gets the advantage going into 3.
Man, Denny can just cut that front end down underneath him and make the move as yep, there it is. Night-night. I don't think Moody's, unless Moody goes down here and wrecks him. I mean, we talked about this rivalry between these two, and it is such a good rivalry. These guys race each other so hard, but Denny just has such a better piece here tonight.
Denny's on a mission to make sure he's having sex with his prom date tonight. He will not be denied.
No, he will not be denied. Looks like McCleary is probably one of the cleanest racers I've ever seen in DNQ. Does not move anybody out of the way. He's going to have a good finish here in 3rd as long as it shakes out like it is right now.
You can tell a guy's a clean driver. We can run the same nicely painted body for 2 or 3 seasons in a row without having to throw it out.
Especially in DNQ. That is no lie. Alex Ripstein has an issue, but Jason Denny is going to take home the victory. Man, that was a freaking straight-up ass beating.
Well, a veteran here, more like Mark Martin or Matt Kenseth in the DNQ karting series, is LJ McCleary. Really good run here tonight. I mean, you didn't race with us the last couple races, but it was fun to see you come back out and have your old pit crew go at it again.
Yeah, it was good to see them back in action again. I'm sure they had a great time. Maybe we should have done a little more practice pit stops, but we'll get there. We got another shot at it here in the Busch race, and we'll give them hell.
What was it like out there running the higher side of the racetrack? Now, you've run this You've run a bunch of races with us at the high side, so you're kind of a veteran at this. Was it just as fun as you remembered it?
Oh, absolutely. I love it. I wish they'd prep the track this way week in and week out. It just gives you a few more options. You can move the cart around a little bit, you know. I think it's more racy also, you know. That gives the guy up top a little fighting chance. So.
LJ McCleary comes home third tonight in the Hearts HVAC Series R2 Designs feature. Well, no surprise here. The race came down to Jason Denny and Christian Moody. Christian, you had a pretty good cart there. Look, you're a little bit too free at the end, though.
Yeah, I mean, I could drive the go-kart the same way into every single turn the exact same time, but it wouldn't handle the exact same way any of those times. I mean, the go-kart just had no bite, and I don't know why.
Now, you raced Jason Denny. You guys have raced each other hard over the last couple of years. Is this rivalry still brewing, or are you guys still racing each other as hard as you can?
I mean, we're always racing each other as hard as we can, so, I mean, there still is a rivalry out there.
Well, Christian Moody doesn't give a shit about Jason Denny. He's trying to win a race, guys. Jason Denny down here in victory lane. Again. Unbelievable run you're going on here. We talked about you overtaking Tim Nye's Cup win record last time we talked here. But, I mean, this thing, another rocket ship here tonight, but you had to earn it.
Oh, yeah, we had to earn it. But, you know, we had fun. The pit stop was all right. My car sucked. My pit crew sucked. That was just pure talent. I mean, I was kidding. No, it was great. It was pit stop. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed going back to the field. It was. I wish we had more, so we can get more. I don't know. Maybe we do like something. But put us some money. It had $1,000 to win next race. Fairgrounds, come out. $1,000 to win. Fairgrounds, come out.
We're actually adding $100 from Lead 2 Real Estate on top of the purse for the next race. So.
$1,001.
No, 100. 100.
No, 1,100.
You're gonna break me. Anyway, came from the back to the front. This has been pretty much a remarkable season for you in the DNQ Karting Series and the Cup Series. You're all but clinch a championship. You just gonna ride these next two out and have fun?
I mean, I always have fun. I'm only fun when I'm here. I mean, if you ain't first, you're last. So, yeah, having fun if you're not winning.
So talk about racing Christian Moody there at the end. You guys are kind of rivals. How was it racing him towards the end for the win?
Christian's always competitive to race against. He's kind of hard to pass. So, you know, man, at the intercourse, that was fun. I wish we'd do that again. But he's always been a tough competitor. So, you always got to watch out for him. He's always there.
Jason Denny takes home the win here tonight in the DNQ R2 Designs Cup Series race.
It's our last feature of the night. Coming up next, DNQ Busch Series.
Crisp, cold refreshment. It's what Busch is known for. What are you known for?
Practical jokes.
Uh-huh.
Dang it.
Busch. DNQ Busch Series starting lineup. Nigel Standish and Caitlin Benge will be in your front row.
Second row, Mike Melton and LJ McCleary in the 71.
Never takes a break, McCleary. John Jarrell and Rob Bates in your next row. Jarrell looking for a good run here tonight.
Row 4, fan favorite David Markham and the 44 of Jonathan May.
Michael Cox and Cliff Sealover will be your last row here tonight. There are our rules, same as ARCA, just a little bit more talent in this field.
Yeah, some of these guys and gals can, really wring the snot out of these go-karts here. I know Ben's drinking on the outside of that front pole. You know, she's looking to crack a couple cold ones and, put it in victory lane tonight.
Still on board with LJ McCleary since the Cup race, just a different cart. He'll have the in-cart camera tonight, the only one in the DNQ Busch Series tonight. Yeah, Ben's drinking is your points leader in this series, and she's got a pretty good lead. As we take the green, we're down here running, getting into one. Busch Series, next year, we talked about it quite a bit as the caution is out. May have had a junk restart there. Next year, we're not going to do a chase. It's going to be straight points. So, I mean, you get one drop race and a sub-driver, in the box. Kyle, again, stressing the box big time, which I don't blame him. You got to do what you got to do.
No, his box has been abused lately, and I think he's sick and tired of it. He's a classy lady. He deserves a steak dinner and a nice time out in the evening. You can't just jam it in his box whenever you want to. So good for him for standing up and enforcing some rules.
He said, "You will take me to Red Rocks. I'm sick of eating Sonic." All right, here we go. We are officially under green now. And green flag, we're underway. The DNQ Busch Series, a lot of fun here, but in October, we are going to test a Goodies Dash Series, which has the same exact rules as this series, but they have to run a 4-inch wide tire all the way around. You want to talk about sacking up, Jay-Z. I think that's going to really see who's got a sack.
That will put the entire race in the driver's hands. You're missing 4 inches of rubber on the outside tires there that create that grip and create that drive off the corner for you. So it's going to take a totally different setup in the go-kart. Throw all your notes out the window. It'll be wide open for anyone that has the balls or the ovaries, so to speak, to show up and try to race the class.
Yeah, and if that race works out, Goody's Dash will run a part-time schedule next year, a full-time, probably about 5-race schedule. I'm very interested to see how that goes. And Rob Bates, one of those guys, pretty pumped about it. And if we just did points, Rob Bates in the last couple races would definitely be ahead of Caitlin Benj. He's had such good runs. Won a couple races by attrition, but I'll tell you what, he's a really good competitor, and I think he's going to run full-time next year. So we'll see who's going to have a run for their money in this Busch Series. And another thing is we've had some sponsors renew. Pink Magic Tire Prep has renewed for next year. Hart's HVAC has renewed for next year as series sponsors. Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair will be the Busch Series presenting sponsor next year. And Ghostface Brewery and Rims 1 will do the Bud Heavy Series. We have sold out all 4 series for next season. Pretty pumped about next year.
I don't know any other touring series that can claim those kind of stats right now, Bob. So good for DNQ. If you guys aren't running this series, you're missing out. They'll be flush with cash and looking to hook up these drivers that finish up front. So make sure for 2019, DNQ is on your schedule.
Yes, and I think it's going to be a great year for DNQ racing. We got a full schedule for sure, and definitely the Millbridge Speedway is going to have a lot of those races. But right now we are watching the DNQ Busch Series karts out here running. And Nigel Standish, looking like a replay of the ARCA race, has the lead. LJ McCleary in second, Rob Bates and Cliff Sealover in third and fourth. And those guys are battling the shit out of each other. I don't know what Rob Bates has for a change tire, but I'm sure it's better than what he's got on it now.
You know, Bates has been impressive. You know, he's run up front, but he's kind of like a Matt Kenseth in that he doesn't quite get the respect maybe he deserves at this point in the season. I think he's proven himself, but we're still not talking about him in the same breath as a Denny or a Caitlin Benj or a Kinder who's been dominating in the classes he's been running.
Benj has run well. I think lately she's just being very conservative to make sure she keeps that points lead, which is very smart. I don't blame her as Lovendahl moves underneath Rob Bates. But, oh, my God, 3 fucking wide right there. That was impressive. But there's Benj just finishing races, and that's all she has to do to win this championship right now. Just don't do anything stupid. Don't get caught cheating with anything and ruin your races. I mean, she's had a great season. There's no doubt about that. Very consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. She's doing what she needs to do to win the championship. As we're on board again with Tar Heel Racing Supply and LG McCleary's, he's looking on the inside of Mabe there in the 44. And again, McCleary's car looks pretty good as the caution's out here.
That is our 15, our halfway break caution. The pace car's going to get him, and it is pit stop time. And we know LJ McCleary's got a pretty quick crew, and we'll see if he can have a good stop here. Here they go. Standish had those issues last pit stop. Will they be any better this one? Man, it's tough to find your pit box here, isn't it? Holy shit.
It is. No fancy neon signs, just crew members frantically waving and trying to coach their drivers into the pit spot as it's a hot mess on pit road right now.
You know, drivers, they can pit all they want during the race normally and change air pressure and stuff. We just don't see it as much. And we just made this pit stop mandatory for this race. So very interesting. Is LG McCleary already off pit road?
McCleary is a polished, grizzled veteran, and I'm not surprised that he rolled off pit stops here at P1.
We looked at the film like 8 times. I didn't think McCleary changed his right rear, but he sure as shit did. And it took me like 5 times to look at it from different angles to actually see that he changed it. So the guy behind him right here, watch this. The guy behind him has a tire. I thought he didn't change it at first. They pull it off. He's got it on already. They're hitting 3 lug nuts, and they're shipping that bitch. One of the fastest pit stops we'll see all night.
You know, that looked better than most of the SHR pit stops we've seen this season, where Harvick's on the radio, MF and everybody up and down as McCleary on the gas hard out of Kyle's box, leading the field down to turn 1.
Green flag runaway. There's Rob Bates. We talked about him earlier. There he is right when it matters. He is in second place, going to try to make a move for the lead as Standish goes 3 wide. David Markham hung up with Mike Melton on the front stretch. That'll bring out a caution. David was in a good spot, too.
That sucks.
He had been driving aggressively this evening. He had made some good moves and been running up front. Bad break for him, but he still got some time to make up those spots.
Tell you what, David's good. It's just a matter of time before he wins a race. I know Curtis is helping him a lot with his driving. He's driving Legends cars now and shit like that. It might be a matter of time before he wins. I think AAR, maybe next year, he'll have a shot at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know he seems to run better on asphalt, even though we don't run there that often. He's been close, even though I know he knocked the wall down a couple years back, but I think he also finished second at one point as well. So he's definitely got the skills to pay the bills.
I thought Bates was going to be better in this. He's fucking off right now, killing us.
Maybe they just made a bad call with their right rear, as McCleary is getting some serious pressure from behind right now. He may not be able to pull this off.
Can Standish make the move on him? We know Nigel had a bad pit stop before he finished second in the last race. I don't know. We'll see what happens here as he is running down LJ McCleary. Can he make the pass on him? And LJ's a gentleman racer by all accounts. And I know that he will hold him off the best that he can, but he's not going to wreck him. And we definitely know that because of the years of watching him race. Lots of respect.
Lovendahl, not a gentleman racer, all over the back end of Bates, looking to club him over the head here as we go back to the lead with the caution out.
5 to go, comp caution. Lovendahl is a lot like that chick you meet at the bar at about 1:30. You know,
I like that girl.
Just a little rough,
I like that girl.
little rough around the edges. You do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Put her in Uber in the morning on the way home
You're
and
damn
lose her
right.
number.
You just,
I
you know
get
what?
it.
Hey, you
I
know
feel
what?
you.
You'll do. You'll do. Okay, fair enough. He's trying to do it in this field here tonight. He is going to get on the grape soda for sure in these last couple laps, trying to make the move on Melton. But right now the battle is for the lead. Rob Bates just sitting there and watching, man. I'm telling you, he could have a shot at this thing if these two get into it pretty good.
Creepy Rob Bates being where he needs to be to get a peek at the action. You know, he's doing everything he can.
Man.
Yeah.
Creepy Rob Bates creeping around in third.
Trying to get by McCleary, but McCleary's taking that line, taking the good air, and Standish can't find a way by.
Trying to get air on that nose, trying to run a little bit lower line to get that downforce on that thing. Not doing it right now. He's got one more lap. Is he going to dive it in there and shit Cam McCleary?
I don't think he can get close enough to do it as he closes into 3. Looks low, looks at that left rear. LJ McCleary leaves off of 4, gets the W
That
at
was a good
Millbridge this
finish.
evening.
Let's go down to our top 3 finishers of tonight's race. Dick Trickle down here again with a cigarette. Have you put a hole in your helmet yet to smoke during the race?
No, but I think that's going to be the next upgrade. You know, it's a little hard when you got lifted up, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. You know, you get a little break, take a break. I ain't like them cup drivers where I got a push button for water, so I had a pack of smokes in my pocket. I figured I'd take one of those.
Dick Trickle used to have the little hole in the helmet. You could drill a hole in the front and just tape some cigarettes to your steering wheel. Holy shit, that'd be fun.
Well, hey, I got the perfect helmet to do it, so I guess that'll give me something to do tonight because we're fast when you throw a curveball. With the Roval, we was fast, and we came back with the oval, and we couldn't hit our ass with the barn door wide open, you know what I mean? And tonight we come out here, track's the high side. I liked it, you know. It's kind of like sometimes when it's too wet, the groove moves up, you know. And track was phenomenal, smooth, you know. And we drove from the back to the front. No practice, no qualifying, but I got to thank Bill Stein Shock Absorbers, Caleb Clinard, the guy that helps me with my next level. He runs everything for me. We put this deal together, and we showed up, and everybody knows we're here, just like they were last time.
Cliff Lovendahl comes home third tonight in the DNQ Busch Series R2 Designs feature race. Nigel Standish dejected down here. Second place again. It's all you had there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to dump them because I raced with them on Fridays. So, I mean, the T-Birds machine was fast like their service calls, but pit crew wasn't as fast. I mean, we only lost 6 spots the second time. That's better than 10, but it was a good run. Fun night.
It's the pit crew's fault.
So, what a... So what about running the high side here? You run flat car Friday. You guys usually run the bottom of the track, but what was it like running the higher side tonight?
I mean, you felt like you couldn't really dive bomb in there, or at least I didn't want to do that. Don't want to wreck anybody and put anybody in the fence. At least when you run the bottom, you got a little room to get them. But so, all in all, I guess it was a good night.
Well, he's second place again tonight. Nigel's going to go rethink everything. Second sucks. Down here in Victory Lane with LJ McCleary. LJ, you had one heck of a race. You held off Nigel Standish there at the end, and he was wearing that back bumper out.
Yeah, he was. I felt him just about into every straightaway there, probably trying to get me freed up through the corner there. Definitely had my hands full. It's fun racing him. I just probably got to hand the win to the pit crew on that one. Come in second, come out first. That's probably what won us the race there. So,
like we talked about before in the Cup Series feature, your pit crew's legendary at having good pit stops. And like we said, you've run here before and a bunch of times. How much did running the Cup race help you in this race?
Oh, absolutely. You can kind of tell which way the track's going and everything, and just air pressure accordingly for the next race. That definitely helps.
LJ McCleary comes home victorious in the DNQ Busch Series.
Well, here are the ARCA final results. Chris Page will be disqualified after tech. He had the wrong jet in his carburetor. Nigel Standish will be disqualified as well. His engine did not surge. And Clifford Lovendahl, the top 3 drivers, will be DQ'd from this race. Lovendahl's intake was messed with. That puts Tony Barkman as the winner, Josh Altee second, David Markham third. You hate that for Chris Page. It was his first win. Got to take it home.
Well, it's turning into an episode of Maury here, Bob. I'm waiting for a midget to run out on stage and start throwing chairs at people. All we're talking about is people cheating. Who's the father of my baby? I don't know. Everyone's illegal. Who can tell? So this adds another wrinkle to the show, the epic story that is DNQ.
Well, you got to quit fucking with the engine. We specifically said stock out of the box, so we'll leave it at that. DNQ Cup Series results. Jason Denny is a good finish away from taking home the DNQ Cup Series championship. Christian Moody in second. That rivalry has been something we have definitely been watching. LJ McCleary third. Race sponsor Ryan Richmond fourth.
Yeah, good run. That series is tough. I don't think anyone can do anything with Denny. Obviously, he's clearing tech every week. I think everyone's just got to sack up and get on their tire program and try to run with him.
DNQ Bud Heavy Series. David Mayo took home the win. Caitlin Bench second. CJ Winslow third. A pretty good finish here for this feature. Christian Moody struggled a little bit. He will take home the fourth place. Nick Beatty, Ryan Richmond, Roger Whitaker. Another good series race for this. Definitely getting some good numbers in that series as well.
Yeah, David Manjuice, Man-Batter, ran an untouchable race, but our friend been binge drinking, comes home P2, doing what she does best, is knocking out those points-paying finishes.
Yeah, next year we're actually going to keep points in that series, and it's going to be a very exciting one to watch for sure. Tonight's DNQ Busch Series feature, another same Maury Povich finish here. LJ McCleary, the head was milled down on that engine. He was found illegal. Nigel Standish's exhaust was bored the fuck out. Obviously ground, very smaller than what a stock one is. Cliff Lovendahl again will fail that race as well due to the airbox that he still ran in the Busch Series race. We did not catch that till the Busch race, so he has failed. I believe it was Surge as well. That will put Rob Bates as your winner for tonight's race, creeping around and taking home another win.
Creepy Rob Bates. The results are in. Maury finds you are the winner tonight, buddy. Good job playing it safe, staying where you need to be to get a little peep of the action, and things turned out all right for you. So congratulations to him on a good, clean win.
That puts David Markham second, Mike Melton third, Caitlin Bench fourth, getting a good points finish again. John Jarrell fifth, Michael Cox sixth, Jonathan Mabe seventh. And that's what you get when you fuck with the engines. Quit fucking around with the Predator engines. We don't have to say it anymore. Well, Jay-Z, it's been a pretty exciting night. We know we had the drama, the Maury Povich drama show down here in the tech shed. But I got to say, we see a couple championships pretty much on lock. We'll know a little bit more after the fair. But you know what? This has been a very exciting season so far. I cannot wait for next year, and I cannot wait for the fair. So much to watch there at that fair race.
Some of the points championships may be pretty well sorted, but that fair race throws it all out the window. Everyone wants to win there. There's fans in the seats. That's how you get your name out there to maybe move to a lower tier series like K&N or maybe a truck seat or something like